Hello and welcome to episode 3 of our Timberborn Update 6 Wonders of Water playthrough here with the Iron Teeth faction in Cycle 5, Day 2. Want to let you guys know that this episode and the first 5 episodes of this series have been generously sponsored by Mechanistry, the developers of Timberborn. If you want to know more about the game or pick up a copy for yourself, you can click the link in the video description or the pinned comment that will take you to Steam using my referral link so they know you came there from me. But again, highly recommend you come and check the game out. They didn't ask me to say that. I just love this game that much. But I digress. We're going to go ahead and get started here. Today's main goal is to get ready for Badtides because we have not had one yet. And you know it's going to be coming soon. Easiest and best way to do that, I found in my experience of playing the game, is to make a diversion. I know there's a couple of you who are like punching the air, cheering, whatever, because you've been asking me to do this forever in all of my playthroughs. But the easiest way to do that is to take these floodgates and pop them in right across here, and then on this map, at least, create a channel so that the water can flow off the map if you want it to. Some maps it's a little harder. This map is really, really easy to get it done, and that's the way we're going to do it. Other ways you could accomplish this if you had access to dynamite, which we don't currently, is to just blast a hole in the wall right here and put another set of floodgates and then have them alternate. Now, the base game does not have an automatic functionality for the floodgates. The sluices, yes, that can be automated, but since Update 6 has native mod support now, I've picked up the Simple Floodgate Triggers mod, which really, really, really helps control, well, floodgates, as the name implies. It gives us a lot of really nice options. So we're going to go ahead, since I have 968 science, unlock these triple floodgates right here. I'm going to pause the game while we do this so we don't waste too much time. But what we're going to do is just right the way across here, pop these triples in nice and tall, because if we build up the side of this with some levees, then it's going to just shove whatever's behind here off the side of the map, and it's gone, forgotten about. Don't have to worry about it. So we're going to get some levees as well. Pop these in right here, all the way across. Put one here as well. And then not quite fill this in yet, so the beavers have an opportunity to get behind here. But it's going to be so easy to get this done. Get this built up nice and safely. So we have a couple options to get over here to put this other levee in. I can put a staircase here, and then put a platform here, and then another set of staircases. Or I can build some ladders here, or I can build platforms all the way across. That's going to use a lot of planks, which currently we have 0 of. Or I can come in with levees, which are 12 logs apiece. Just go all the way across here, and then they can stand on this 4th one here and build that guy. I think that's what we're going to do. We have maxed out log storage and no planks. We're going to need the planks to build the floodgates themselves, so that's going to make this nice and easy to accomplish. And to encourage them to build the floodgates first, we're going to use our priority assignment tool to do high priority on these so they can stand. And since in Timberborn you can build on the level you're standing or the level above, they should have no problem taking care of any of this without the aid of any additional scaffolding. So, that's project numero uno for our beavers here. Let's give them a little bit of a boost and hire 2 more workers in the district center to act as builders. Since it's the beginning of a new cycle, we are going to unpause our water pumps here, which will reallocate our labor a little bit. You'll notice it says we have 9 vacancies. Well, that's also due in part to us having 10 slots open to the hauling post, which we do not need, with only 43 beavers. So I'm going to take this down to 4 worker slots. And since water is flowing again, I'm going to turn on the industrial lumber mill. We already have both of these fermenters turned on, left over from last time. This one's set to soybeans, which we don't have right now. I'm going to turn it back to cassavas, so our farmers can harvest all of these guys and get that ready to go. So that is going to be looking good. We also have this smelter here, well, smelting, making some metal blocks for us, which we are going to need a little bit later on. But let's go ahead, get this thing in turbo mode, let these beavers go to work. We can actually watch them get most of this stuff done. It's not going to take too long because they are very efficient builders, and we have most of the materials with the exception of the planks. Most of the materials already ready to go, of course, those being logs that we've stockpiled for quite some time without actually doing anything with them. So while they do that, we are going to have to wait for the planks now at this point while they take care of that. Let's zoom out a little bit and talk about some of the other goals I've got for today. You guys left a lot of really great, helpful comments, suggestions, ideas. I always read the comments. I can't always reply to everybody, especially when we have a whole lot of them in these earlier episodes of series, but I do always read the comments. Hey, look, we're flooding because somebody made a bad choice, somebody being me. But they'll get that taken care of before too long, as long as we have these built first. We don't run into issues there. But I want to solve our food issues. Well, what food issues? We have 700 something food. Most of that's berries that we just kind of stockpiled. The throughput of the cassavas is not high enough. We're not taking them up. They're still down there. So one of the easy ways to solve that is to just put a farmhouse closer to them, which we need to do anyway. And I'm going to do this right here. Leave a little bit more space here to plant additional ones if we feel so inclined. This water is not normally over here. So this is not normally irrigated land. That is causing a little bit of a false confidence for our farmers over here. Once this is gone, we're not going to have any issues. They've just got to put this last levee in place, and then that extra water will go away. And with it, the irrigation. See, there we go. Problem solved. But now these guys have... Well, they got plenty of time to do this. We don't need to rush through it. So I'm going to actually prioritize this farmhouse so we can get them working on that. Because, you know, food supply is important. We really, really need to make sure we're doing as much as we possibly can. Alright. So, other stuff we want to take care of is going to be a little bit of beautification if we have time. And then I want to get into bad water. And not the kind of bad water that floods the town and kills all the beavers. We got bad water up here. It's going to be very important that we start harnessing this to produce stuff like dynamite. And then, before too long, do a little bit of centrifuge spinning to get extract, because that's going to be useful in a variety of other things as well. But seeing how this is looking here, all we're waiting on now is the planks to get brought up, which we do have 11 there. 15 per floodgate. This one on the far end is already taken care of. So while they're building this, let's take a second to talk about how the Simple Floodgate Triggers mod works. As the name implies, it's a set of different triggers you can assign to floodgates. Floodgates that are constructed next to each other can have the option of sharing settings, or you can desync them and then control them individually. There's a bunch of different reasons why you may or may not want to do that. For our purposes, we're going to leave them all synchronized. And what we want to do is when a Badtide starts, we want them to just go all the way up. But when a Badtide ends, we don't necessarily want to automatically have them go all the way down, because this little channel here is not going to be flushed until the temperate cycle has been going for a little bit of time. Now, we can set this and forget it, you know, Ron Popeil style, if anybody remembers those infomercials. But the idea behind having this accessible is so you just don't have to worry about it. But we're going to have to worry about it if there's still bad water in here and we're shoving it through our crops because it hasn't been flushed. So I'm not going to have this checked. We're just going to, anytime a Badtide starts, hide all the way up. And that's just the way it's going to go. But for right now, we need this to be down so we can water our crops and spin the wheels and have power and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to turn the Gear Workshop back on here. We have the beaver power to do that. And then we have, yeah, we got 111 canola seeds. We got to get going on that. We'll turn that oil press on. And now, yeah, you know, we're looking good. Looking good. This is getting pretty close to being done. This levee has not been built, but the stuff behind it has. So in the interest of, you know, finishing this in some sort of reasonable quantity of time, let's get this prioritized. I'll build this first, and then what I'll do is I'm going to remove these levees so that, you know, we can have all of the water flow through here and not trap any behind this permanently. That would be a bad idea. But fortunately, we're not going to have to worry about that. Let's build another industrial pile here just because it's a good place to put one. We need more log storage anyway. We've got 16 vacant beds. We don't really need right now, but I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. These guys, actually, I'm gonna set them for harvesting mode. These guys set for planting mode. They're grabbing these kohlrabis. We still have plenty of... Thank you for letting me click there. Cassavas. The only other crop we can grow right now... Well, technically we can grow the corn and the eggplant. Would be to plant more soybeans. We can't get to these guys yet until we unlock the food factory, which is going to require a whole bunch of other stuff as well. Lots of power. 10... Well, you know what? We have the metal. We could build these if we really wanted to, but the power is the main concern that I have for this, and we're not quite there yet. I do see that they've tweaked these recipes a little bit, as far as I can remember. So I don't remember the corn not requiring canola oil to do the corn rations. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you remember from Update 5 or Experimental Update 6 if the food factory required or did not require the canola oil for the corn recipe. Eggplant and the seaweed, I'm not sure. You know what? I'm not sure about any of this. I'm pretty sure the eggplant did, but now this is kind of throwing me for a loop. I don't know. I guess I could just go watch one of my old videos, but it's more fun if I get to talk to you guys about it. So, all that being said, time to get rid of these levees here and utilize the fun of how things get placed in this game to our benefit. Ah, not like that. Not like that. You're going to make me look like an idiot. Well, I do plenty of good job of that myself, so that's fine. But we place these things and it shoves the piles of debris right up here so we can just, you know, not worry about it. Get rid of these because we don't ever want those to be built. And there you go. Now we have plenty of logs we can come grab. And once that's taken care of, well, I can go ahead and get rid of the path. That's not going to be a problem. But once that's taken care of, then we'll just put our last piece of levee in here. Do a little test on the floodgates. And there we go. Now, you'll notice this isn't ticked. The set height when Badtide starts is not ticked. But it doesn't matter because it's synchronized with adjacent floodgates, which are this one and this one. But this one is also synchronized with the adjacent floodgate being this guy, which has the settings. So everything will carry over. It's going to be super simple, super easy. No problemo. And look at this. They're all good to go. Let's pop in our levee right here. And we're going to be in good shape. You know what I did not do? I did not connect this to the path network. So that's a little bit embarrassing, but we took care of that. Looking nice. Looking nice. All right, folks. Now, I honestly did not think this would be this quick to build, so good job, beavers. Let's slam this shut and see if our diversion works without flooding downstream. And yeah, looks like it is. So right now we're sending good water off the side of the map, which we do not want to do, but we did successfully test this whole thing here. And it's working great, and we've got plenty of water. Our food situation is definitely not ideal, but, you know, we're working on it. Making progress. I'm going to put these soybeans down here, and then I'm going to plant some more cassava now in this space. These guys are gathering there, and I think we have room, if we really want to get fancy, we have room to put another farmhouse down here. And that way we have 8 beavers working on farming. These guys, of course, canola oil, which we really don't need that much of it right now, but we're going to be glad we had it later. That's always going to be important. So, Cycle 5, Day 10. We're actually substantially ahead of where I thought we'd be. I guess I'm used to playing on these bigger maps. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this path out, and we're going to come right up this corner here. Working with the ladders, you always want to make sure the rungs of the ladder are up against a surface you do not have to ever pass through, because it will block them. So I put it up against the cliff face. You could also, since, you know, we're not going to go through here ever with the path, you could rotate it 90 degrees, but I think it's nice to have it up against the flat area. That's going to work great. And I'm going to put another bank of ladders here. We'll get them all connected with a path. And then up here, what's happening up here, you might ask? Well, we have a deep bad water pump that will fit very nicely right here. Unlock that for 250 science. And now we can pump bad water, which I said before is used in the explosives factory to make explosives. And then the dirt extractor takes extract, excavator, the dirt excavator, not the dirt extractor. I combined two terms there. But the dirt excavator takes extract, which is made in a building called the centrifuge, which takes bad water, and 1/10 of a log in 0.75 hours and makes 1 unit of extract. So we're going to want to get into that at some point, but that is a powered building, and our power infrastructure right now is not really robust enough to adequately handle that. No worries, though. We are A-okay where we are right now. Probably should be focusing a little bit more on power and food industry. We've got plenty of time for that, because now we've automated our Badtides away. And we're never going to have to worry about it ever again, because these are the only water source blocks on the map, as far as I know. I admittedly did not go looking, but I am pretty sure there's nothing else on here. It's a pretty simple map, but yeah, it's fine. Now, man, they are rocket speed building these things. We're gonna be in good shape, folks. Oh, this is so exciting. Let's go ahead. Now that we're starting to... Okay, well, all those planks just went away because we're building this building here. But now I think we are in a pretty good spot to start expanding our industrial stuff. Until we can research the large water... Well, we can research it right now if we wanted. I have the science for it, but until we have a structure that's going to support that, there's no point in building those. However, comma, you take a look at this up here. This is 2 blocks deep. The large water wheel is technically, well, it's not going to let me build it here, but this is for the purpose of illustration. If you're not familiar with it, it's got this nub that has to sit 2 blocks above wherever the bottom of the wheel is. And while there's currently a pump in the way here, I cannot build it in this exact spot. This thing right here is the correct height to put a couple of those in. They are 2 blocks wide, so this, if we were to slightly modify where stuff is sitting here, we could put in 2 of these large water wheels and they would generate some serious power. As long as we are careful about exactly where the stuff goes, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. So, this is full of bad water. Now, we have to have some more storage. I wasn't originally going to build a medium tank up here, but we've got enough gears and we've got enough planks now where that is going to be a viable option for us. So, I'm going to put this guy here, set that to bad water, and then let's actually take a pause here, grab a breather. I don't want to let the time go by too quickly. Because, you know, we're only 18 minutes into the video and we're already most of the way through Cycle 5. I'm not necessarily trying to speedrun here. I just want to demonstrate that you can actually, you know, get really far in the game pretty quickly if you're not distracted by other stuff, which I very, very frequently am when I'm playing this game. But it's fine. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of theory crafting about how we can do our industrial area here. This is not a straight channel, but it is, if we take a look at our width here, it is 4 blocks wide in most places. Some places it's 5 as it goes around these little corners and stuff. So there's a lot of spots here where we could very easily put in water wheels that are going to allow us to generate a lot of power, which is cool. That's what we want. But the way this channel is set up means that it's not going to be super easy for us to really utilize all of it without also impacting how our farms are set up. So it really shouldn't matter that much. There's a bunch of different ways to fix it. If we want to focus on advancing industry first, then what I would probably do is just come in here, get rid of some of our farmland, and then a couple of these berries, and try to build... Well, it's not going to let me, you know, pop this here, but I would put one wheel here, another wheel here, obviously rotated the correct way. And then as this goes around, I'd put another one probably here and here. The water is going to get forced through it anyway. It's going to generate a ton of power, but we're going to have to connect it, and that is going to cost us some farmland or some berries. The easier thing right now to do would be to kind of start claiming this area over here as industry, because remember, we have our bad water here coming down. So there's actually the maximum fluid flow on this map are these tiles right here before this goes off the edge. And unless we wanted to cap this off, which you can, by the way, if you weren't aware, there's a bad water discharge building we could construct on this, which would completely seal it away for the entirety of time, or give us the option to open it. And then, unlike the Folktales version of this building, which is like the bad water cap, the Iron Teeth version allows you to force the bad water to come out all the time if it's set in the open position. I don't know if that accomplishes it via fracking or whatever technology or magical whatever the beavers do to it when you build this thing and have it set to open. It just works. So that's very useful if you want to maintain power flow, or if you are using a lot of bad water and you don't ever want to run out. That's a great thing to have. Or if you just say, you know what, I don't want to deal with it. You shut it, and that's it. It's done. You don't have to worry about it ever again, unless you have a Badtide, in which case this turns red. But we're not going to worry about that. I think it would be nice for us to take advantage of this side of the map, since we haven't really done anything over here yet, and do some industrial stuff in this area, utilizing the bad water as an aid, and not just saying, well, I don't want to deal with it at all. Let's just shunt all of it away. From here, yes, shunt all of that away, but we can exploit it to our advantage and use it for industrial power, which is definitely something the Iron Teeth, I think, would be canonically interested in. So, the science required to unlock this is 200. We have it. Let's go ahead and unlock these guys. And it's going to be really, really easy for us to get power going here, folks. It's just so easy. These two combined, while they're rated for 270 HP per CMS, it's probably going to be more, which is great news for us, because we're going to need a lot of power pretty quick. So they're going to get started building that. We will have to have a way to get across our chasm here, which, of course, we could build platforms, walk across it, or, you know, since we're having a good time with this, and we have the ability to, I'm going to start unlocking suspension bridges, and we'll just build across the gap here. But first, they have to be able to construct this stuff. So that's going to be real easy to put here. Since we have bad water coming through, I'm not going to worry about losing farmland. And we can just turn this whole area into an industrial powerhouse zone and not have to worry about too much of anything else. We just need to be able to assure the beavers can actually get over here. So, you know what? Actually, let's have some fun with this. Let's go underneath the waterfall, the nasty waterfall. Don't worry, they're not going to get affected by it. But we've got this little this tunnel of nasty here where you can look but don't touch. All of that red goop coming off the rock formation there. You just go right behind it. And we can actually use our very best friend, the ladder. Oh, I love these ladders so much, man. It's such a great mod. We can just come right behind here, and then we don't have to have a bridge here. We're going to put one anyway. But now we have the ability to have a whole lot of power. Now, 80 planks is going to take a long time. To get this one is another 80 planks. It's not going to be a quick process. Hey, look at that. Badtide approaching. We're going to get to test this in real time. This is so much fun. Man, I love maps like this. You don't have to run all over the place. You can actually focus on enjoying just the process of creating whatever you want without, oh, I got 10,000 things on the other side of the map that I completely forgot about. Now I have 800 infected beavers. Not personally my idea of an ideal playthrough. I know some people are really into that, but hey, do what you want. I like the process of building stuff and making sure that things work. But you can play however you choose. So now I am very... They're going to try to build this water wheel first. But I... The best part about having a Badtide is, like, the flow is not going to... It's going to stop for here because this is going to get shunted. But this right here is just going to keep going. So this water wheel is just going to work. It's going to work forever unless I decide to cap this or there's a drought. But If I cap it during a drought, and then I force it to stay open, then the bad water has to... I've been playing Folktales in Update 6 experimental for the last couple months, so I'm not used to being able to do that. It's going to be nice. Anyway, they're going to take care of that. The plank situation is a little bit slow, probably because we're turning a lot of these into gears, so I'm going to pause this guy. And then we'll be able to stockpile some planks, maybe, unless they get spirited away to some other location that we're not really cognizant of. But one thing we can do while we wait is to unlock these medical beds. We do have the science for that, and we have a couple injured beavers. Incapacitated, rather. But I'm going to go ahead and put 2 of them up here, which, yes, this does use planks, but it's going to be worth building these because, you know, beavers are going to get injured. These guys are still toiling away at the wheel of... I guess we can call it the wheel of opportunity, because they have an opportunity to provide power for the other buildings by just, you know, walking in a circle and pushing this thing, you know? That's the way it goes. I mean, remember, the motto is work hard, work hard. What could be more working hard than walking in a circle, pushing this thing, and just doing that all day? I don't know. Oh yeah, by the way, while we got this guy sitting here doing nothing because his building's full, it's like, yeah, toil laboriously. Oh, also, there's this second gear workshop. Let's pause that. Well, that's why the gear number was going up while I had this paused. I was about to say, is something glitching with the game? No, it's not glitching. I'm just dumb, and I forgot I had 2 gear workshops. All right, so that should massively expedite the construction of this large water wheel. Oh boy, it has been a very long Friday, friends. It's been a very long day, but it's good to be back with the beavers, man. Very, very thankful to be able to get to do this with you guys. It's very fun. Genuinely one of the treasures of my life. So now that sappy stuff's out of the way, let's try to map some stuff out over here. Let's leave a bit here for the bridge, and then we can just come right back this way. Oh, the Badtide started. Wait, why am I panicking? This is automated. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. We're good to go. Just shove it off the side of the map. No issues. And to think I was worried. Wait, this is just a one-day Badtide? All right, cool. That's fine with me. We're golden, folks. We are so good. I watched RCE's Mythbuster Timberborn video. Excellent, really good video, honestly. Like an hour long, just debunking different myths. And one of them was that some people claimed, oh, hey, Badtide produces more flow than a good tide from the regular water source. Nope. Matt proved that that wasn't a thing, along with all sorts of other stuff. So, yeah, do go check that out if you haven't. Really informative stuff. But I am glad that that's not the case, because this would definitely overflow. But we're good. We're so good. You will notice that there is, or there was, contamination here. And that's because this tile of earth is directly touching bad water. There is a way to prevent that by building the irrigation barrier. And, of course, we're not quite there yet. But now you can kind of see what I'm getting at here about why we didn't want this to immediately open, because there was still a little bit of red. But now look at this. It looks like it's perfect clean blue, so down you go. And hopefully it doesn't flood anything here, but yeah, we're looking great. Looking really, really good. Killed a couple blueberries here, but you know, that is a sacrifice that is, well, it's fine. We're not going to be worried too much about it. I am probably going to just put in a set of levees here, and then dams, because that will hold a little bit more water back here, and then this will never backflow this way. I mean, I could also do that with the sluice gates, but well, let's keep it simple for right now. And wait a second, I don't need to build a bridge here, because I can just go right across the dam. What am I doing, man? We'll just bring this right around this way. Okay. Well, you know what? That's actually really good, because that's going to give me some more space right here to put buildings in. And oh, we're going to have so much fun. Look at this. We're halfway through the video. We've already conquered bad tides. And we're making some okay progress toward the rest of our stuff. Very, very exciting stuff, folks. All right, we have our medical beds. Yep, no incapacitated beavers currently, which is great news. I think it's going to be about time to put in a couple more of these breeding pods. Right now we have 2 that are a little bit more than halfway and 2 that have just restarted. In theory, I probably should just increase the well-being instead of building more breeding pods, because this is just going to keep compounding. You know, it's like you put money in the bank. Well, maybe not anymore because interest rates are kind of low, but used to be if you had a savings account and was earning, I don't know, a couple % interest, APR or whatever. You know, you leave a chunk of change in the bank for a year, you're going to come out with a little bit more money. It's a nice way to increase your savings. But it's that theory of compounding interest that kind of also applies to the way the lifespan of the beavers plays into the breeding pods. Because remember, these are going to go at a specific rate all the time. But as your beavers get more well-being, their lifespan increases. Like, take a look. Let's just click on this guy here. He's got a plus 20 life expectancy by being well-being 7. At well-being 17, it goes to plus 40%. So that means this beaver lives longer. All the while, your breeding pods are pumping out at the exact same rate. So you have, technically, your birth rate is not increasing, but the beavers are living longer, which means your population, relative to the amount of breeding pods that you have active, is going to keep going up. So once you get to, I think, I don't know, like high 30s, maybe you can probably have 100 beavers off of a handful of breeding pods, versus right now we have 47 off of 4. And yeah, we're going to end up probably overflowing with beavers if we put too many of these in. So instead of that, hey, look, we have this guy going. Yeah, I told you it was going to produce a lot of power. That's almost 500. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a great time here, folks. So this is actually not poison water, so I'm gonna grow trees on this side. But this side, oh yeah, buddy, we're gonna get some stuff done here. We don't have any 4 long buildings here. The only one really is this wood workshop, and then the smelter. The folktales do have the printing press, but the Iron Teeth don't. Everything else the Iron Teeth have is 3x3 or 2x2, and I think, yeah, there isn't really anything else they can build except the bot symbol. Well, that's 3x3 too. Grease Factory's 3x2. Bot Part Factory's 3x3. Yeah. So this is actually going to be a pretty simple thing we got going on here. This lumber mill is going to go here, but what's going to happen first is, because of the way these are set up, I'm going to put this oil press here, because all these buildings communicate power on their sides. And then do an industrial lumber mill, and then next to it, I know it's not going to be grouped necessarily by industry, but in the grand scheme of things, having stuff be more spatially efficient in a compact area is probably more important than all of the wood processing is here and all of the metal processing is here. Yeah, I'm going to move that smelter all the way over here, and then I'll have space right here. Again, the only reason I'm doing that is because this has additional land right here that we can take advantage of. I'm going to put one more industrial lumber mill in this spot, and all of these will be powered by these two once they are complete. I will make sure to pause construction on this so we don't accidentally get our beavers trapped in there. But once that's done, this entire area here can instead be used for food processing, and I can get rid of all of this stuff, and we're going to be in really good shape. Which also means this smelter can go away, this gear workshop can go away, this large power wheel can go away, and we can use this space for beaver well-being, which is going to be a much better use of it since we are, you know, right next to where the beavers live. We can reorganize stuff. Start to kind of transform the map to be a little bit more useful and not so much, hey, let's just put this here because it works. So, you may have noticed the food situation, again, it's not bad because we have 500, but 420 of the 530 is berries, which means we really, really need to step up the cassava production. And, well, I guess technically, oh, we got a soybean pile up here. Let's immediately shift to doing soybeans here. Let's see. Actually, we're pretty close to having this large wire wheel complete, which as soon as we do, this oil press is going to be useful there. We can do some storage either up here or down in this corner here. I don't think it needs to be super complicated, so probably what's going to make the most sense is we just pop stuff wherever it fits. But we got a ladder here. You know what that means. I can just stack these guys right like so, and that's going to be something else. Super, super convenient. So we'll do logs, we'll do planks, we'll do scrap metal, we'll do metal blocks, and we'll do another couple layers of logs. And that's going to take care of a lot of our needs over here. That's going to be great. I love vertical building. Say it with me, kids. I say to an audience that is mostly adult men from the United States between the ages of 25 and 44. Hello, everyone else. I love you too. That's just the dominant demographic in my analytics page. But I digress. Look at this. We're making 1,000 HP. Awesome. So much power. So much power. Let's get this oil press built here. That technically isn't next, but we're going to make it next, because as soon as that happens, I can move this away from here. Although, you know, honestly, this is probably fine. No, you know what? This map isn't big enough for it to matter. And we actually have a full storage, so I'm going to pause the deep bad water pump, try to get our beavers going on some other stuff. Because we really, really need to get our fermentation situation under control. We're producing 225 HP here, which is going to be enough to run 4 of these fermenters. And as of right now, we do not have another building for food that requires power, with the exception of the oil press, which I'm thinking is going to be much, much better over here. So if we want to be a little bit smarter about this, what we can do is we can leave this space here and then go ahead and research the large warehouse, which is fantastic because it allows you... Oh, you know what? I can do the... I can do it again. I can do it again. I can build it right here. And then I can put in a ladder right in the corner. Oh, I'm having too much fun with this. It has been so long since I've been able to satisfactorily build vertically like this. Large warehouses out the you-know-what. Let's put in at the bottom, probably... I'm not going to put gears in this because it's 1,200. But it's going to be a really good idea for us to have plenty of storage for canola seeds right in front of the oil press. And then on top of that, of course, you know, we don't have to only put large warehouses. We can do more piles. We could do small or medium warehouses if we really wanted to, or I could put a large tank right on top of this too. In fact, I think that might be a great option for the top of this stack, but oh yeah, look at this. I think we might actually be able to do some pretty wild stuff here if we're smart about it. I know I just said all that about I'm going to have food production be over here. Well, guess what? We can have storage over here if we feel so inclined for the raw materials like, say, soybeans and then raw cassava. Not a bad idea. And now that this is over here, ready to go, I'm going to unpause that. That can go away. This can go away. This can go away. This can go away. Oh no, you're getting rid of all your food. It's fine. It's gonna be okay. Gonna be fine. Because now that this is out of the way here, I've got space. And I can put in a fermenter. Actually, that one right there is not gonna work. But if I am careful how I have this distributed, I might be able to... not quite. Not quite. I thought it was going to be smart, but you know how this goes. Sometimes it just doesn't work. But this does. Look at this madness right here. That's 4 of these guys. Let's do cassava, soybean. Should be a decent split for early on here. And it might be ugly, and it definitely is, but it's not actually that bad. Not actually that bad. We'll make it look a little bit better later, but for right now, this is going to be pretty choice. All we got to do now is clean this up, and we're going to gain some more space for planting trees. And, you know, doing other stuff too, but... Now we got this going, processing our planks and our logs. Again, 1,000, 1,100 HP. It's cycling, which is kind of weird, but nothing's flooding, so I guess it's okay. Yeah, we'll roll with that and let them finish building all this stuff. This stack is really going to simplify a whole lot of our industrial process here. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have some power left over. Enough for me to go ahead and, I think... Oh, you know what? You know what? I really ought to stop saying that. I can use technology for the betterment of everyone here. I love ladders so much, man. I love the ladders mod with my entire heart, mind, body, and soul. Truthfully, it is a wonderful, wonderful thing. I can put platforms here, and then I can put a gear workshop right here. And the gear storage right underneath it. Oh, man. Okay. Maybe this is just water beaver hangover. The mod's really hard. This is going so well. I am quite pleased. Yeah, 16 more logs there. I mean, we're in such good shape, man. We're doing fantastically well. Let's go ahead and remove these. We don't need these up here anymore. Metal block storage don't need up here anymore. Oh, there's garbage on the ground. It's fine. We're gonna be okay. Because now, episode 3, we're already getting into well-being. I love it. I normally wait until the very end of my playthroughs to do it. But we have a bunch of cool options here. With the Iron Teeth, we have wind tunnels, which require power, which we don't have over here anymore. Detailers, which, of course, you can stamp designs onto the beaver tails. We'll do that maybe next time. Motivatorium / indoctrination station. It takes power as well. Mudbath takes power. But the exercise plaza is a great way to get your beavers moving. And take up some of their free time. And look, we got a perfect spot for it right here. So we'll take care of that. And, yeah, it's time for some aerobics. Fire up your VCR and dust off the Billy Blanks Tybo tape and get to work here. Oh, man, we did that in the elementary school gym. It was so weird. They hooked a VCR up to a projector and shined it on the gym wall, and we watched this guy doing that Tybo thing, and you're doing the, I don't know, you're moving your arms and the fists around in a circle. I don't really understand what all that was about, but it was a good time for a whole bunch of 10, 11-year-olds to expend some energy during the 45 minutes a day you're in the gymnasium. Anyway, massive tangent. Exercise Plaza is going to be a really nice boost to our well-being. You see it down here in the fun right here. There's a bunch of other options. The sooner we start with well-being, the longer the beavers are going to live sooner, if that makes sense. Again, it's at 8 right now. I almost always ignore well-being until the end of my playthroughs, and I feel like that's probably not the best way to go about it. So that's going to be a nice change. Yes, the food situation is still not, like, fantastic, but, you know, that's also because these aren't built yet. Let's actually go ahead and do that. I got so excited about building stuff vertically over here that I forgot to do this. Oh, boy. All right. Now, I really didn't think this was going to happen this quickly, but we're honestly in a really good position to start looking into doing treated planks, which I really did not think was going to be possible. And now the problem is I don't have any pine trees because I said, I'm not going to need those. So let's plant some pine trees. It just, you know, casual over here. Plant some pine trees. Okay, good. They're not marked for cutting. We're going to let these things grow. Oh, it's another Badtide. It's another Badtide. So next episode, we're going to get into the treated planks, which also means we'll be able to get into the irrigation barriers, and then we can do, why can I not use words? Irrigation, duh. We can do explosives and everything, but we can set up explosives now. Just as soon as I get 400 science, I can unlock the explosives factory, which will very nicely fit over here, depending on how I want to have this set up. Power not going up the cliff yet, but it could, because Update 6 has native vertical power shafts. This used to be a mod. This was a great mod. I loved it to death, the vertical power shaft mod. But now, the same functionalities in the base game. So you have this vertical piece, you have a transition piece to go up, and you have a transition piece to go down. This replaced the high power shaft that you may have used in prior updates. But this is a really cool system, because not only can you go up, but it's a lot easier to make turns while ascending versus building some sort of unholy spiral tower of high power shafts and platforms and all that. No, just go straight up. Super easy. So all that to say, I think it might be kind of cool to just have all of the Badwater processing up near the Badwater, which would include building ourselves an explosives factory. Would fit very nicely right about here. In fact, you know what? That might work great because the centrifuge 3x3 also takes power. I don't know why I wanted to say not power. And that you know, actually that might work better there. But point of the matter being, we need to get power across this pathway and then up. And I probably shouldn't take too many projects on at once like this, especially with how much wood we're using to build all these large warehouses, which I'm actually going to go ahead and pause because we're going to, you know, completely screw ourselves over here. I think this is going to be... Oh, I am so excited. We're actually getting somewhere. I did not think it was going to work this well. Exercise plaza probably needs to wait, but I don't know. I want to see some beaver aerobics, people. Let's get things going. It is slightly unfortunate that the food has not been better, but as of now, since we have these opening and operating again, things are looking fine. I do think our water situation is a little bit overkill. So for right now, I'm going to pause 2 pumps. Don't worry. We have 1,000 waters stored up. We only have 45 beavers. That's 10 days of water. Gonna be fine. And we can obviously still pump. But now, here comes our Badtide. These things slammed right shut automatically. You have no idea how much I love seeing that. And all the bad water is being shunted off. And it's only a 2-day Badtide. And since this was set up, now there's no backflow here, which is not killing these trees. And that is the real prize, I think. Now we just have to wait for our pine trees to grow. That's going to take a really long time. So that's definitely going to be next episode. But look at this. Look at us go here. We're making gears. Obviously, this is going to be turning a lot slower. And we're only making a total of 400 HP. Oh, woe is me. But it's fine. At least we have plenty of stuff for these beavers to do. Plenty to eat, plenty to drink. And you know what? We are going to have to build a container for the canola oil that this is taking care of, especially since this is going to be here. It's very tempting to want to put it in a large tank. Well, one, I don't have the science for it. And two, it's a little bit excessive for right now. So instead, I'm just going to put in a little tiny one right here, set to supply, which will then feed these guys because I haven't taken them anywhere else. And there's no power because there's no water flow, which means these can't do anything, but we have almost 800 food. So that's looking pretty good. We probably should be growing more soybeans and less kohlrabis, but I'm not going to be that worried about, because look at this. Oh, this killed a whole bunch of these cassavas. Yeah, we want to get on the irrigation barriers with a quickness. And look how the contamination actually went away a little bit before the end of the Badtide. Has this started turning clear early? I didn't think it did that. Well, that might be a new behavior then. Yeah, because this is definitely still red-ish. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this turned less toxic a little quick there. Anyway, beginning of cycle 7. Turn this down. More water comes in. Get these things rotating again. Get these things rotating again. Hopefully nothing floods. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, wow. We got so much more done today than I thought we would. And I kind of want to keep going, but I know if I keep going, I'm going to cause I'm going to cause this video to be an hour and a half long, and then I don't know. I think a lot of you guys might enjoy that, but I do want... Oh, wow, hold on. Let's take a strategic pause here. That should not have happened. You saw that flood right down here? Yeah, I think that might have been due to me having this on triple speed, and the water physics behave a little weird when at higher simulation speeds. Because it really, there's not enough water coming through for this to do that. We're gonna need to experiment with that, because this, the storage for gears might not need to be downstairs if that's what it's gonna be doing. Yeah, you know what? This is actually the bottom of the map. I can't blast this down any more than it currently is. So I couldn't channelize this at all. Well, that's some food for thought. Man, snapped me out of my my joy and mirth of getting this vertical nonsense done. Boy, all right. Well, hey, the exercise supplies is going, and we didn't even get to see any beavers doing it. So, tell you what, it's about the end of the day anyway. Let's go ahead and do our end of episode stuff, and we'll watch some beavers do some aerobics here. That's always a good way to spend a little bit of your time. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys and your enthusiasm for the series. This has been so much fun. I know this is only episode 3 of this, but it feels like a brand new game. And this hasn't even really changed that much from the experimental release of Update 6. It's just, oh man. I love this map so much. I love it to bits. But you guys make it possible. All your support, beard boosters as well, directly contributing to the longevity and the health of the channel from my financial perspective, so I don't have to chase the algorithm, which is, in my opinion at least, not the right way to go about doing YouTube. I like the authentic experience of playing the games uncut, unless I actually have to remove something, like a coughing fit I had earlier in the video, being too eager to talk about stuff. But I like the authentic style of playing the game, presenting it as it comes, and not just jump cutting through everything, which, hey, that's how you like it, then that's fine. But I like showing you in real time how the game works, and I like the conversational style of stuff, even if it's technically just me talking at you for an hour. I don't know, I really like the way we do things here, and I'm so glad we get to keep doing that without trying to modify stuff. So again, anyone who's ever supported the channel, you make that possible. And for this video and this series, Mechanistry directly supporting with the sponsorship as well. Thank you so much, Mechanistry. I really appreciate the support. Please don't forget to check out Timberborn if you haven't already, using the link in the description. It lets them know that I sent you, and that's good for everybody. So whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, have a fun and a safe time, and we will see you back tomorrow for episode 4, where we're going to try and get irrigation completely handled. Thanks so much for being here, friends. Take care. Bye-bye.